NCAA college football from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, Southern California, and Alabama. Today, you'll see two great running backs. In Charlie White of Southern California, Tony Nathan of Alabama. When Alabama played Nebraska here at Legion Field in Birmingham, September 2nd, the largest football crowd ever to see a game in this state was on hand. Today, it's going to be a new record crowd as the Southern California Trojans, ranked 7th in the nation, come in to challenge the top-ranked Crimson Tide of Bear Bryant. Both teams are undefeated this season, with USC having defeated Texas Tech and Oregon. The Trojans are ranked 7th in the nation. Alabama with 2 wins over Big 8 teams, Nebraska and Missouri, and the Tide tops all of the polls and owns the nation's longest winning streak at 12 games. And hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. You know, it is remarkable the similarities that exist between the game we're about to see today between Southern California and Alabama and the game we saw and brought to you a year ago from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Just a year ago, in the month of October, giving a few days away, USC had a 15-game win streak. They were ranked 1st in the nation. Alabama came into Los Angeles ranked 7th in the nation and won a thriller 21-20. Today, just flip it over, and that's what you've got with Alabama's win streak at 12 games. The weather is going to be very important here today because the temperature is right at 85 degrees. It is very humid, up around 75%. They're playing on artificial turf, which means the playing surface is going to be in the neighborhood of 100 degrees. Now, when Nebraska played here, they did not bring any fans nor air conditioners. The Southern California people saw that, so they came armed with their own air conditioners and fans, had them shipped out here. Joining us today as our analyst and commentator, Ara Parsekian. And Ara, I know that you're a bit depressed by what happened up in South Bend this afternoon, but I guess the Michigan Wolverines are certainly for real again.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
No, it was a great performance on the part of Michigan, and of course I'm disappointed that the Irish lost, but it was a great football game.
Turning to this game very quickly now, and I think 1977, oftentimes you can't go back a year and say, let's draw some parallels and make some comparisons and rate the two teams, but I think in this particular case, since both teams have so many returning people, that the 1977 game has some meaning.
Very true, Keith. You've already pointed out the number of similarities, and we're going to watch. The fans should watch this afternoon 2 major things. I did this game a year ago with you, and the Trojans had difficulty in stopping the outside option. It'll be interesting to see early whether or not they've adjusted their defenses to take care of that. If they cannot contain the Alabama outside game, it'll be a long afternoon. On the other side of the coin, USC had difficulty running the ball and went to the air out of necessity when they fell behind, and Alabama had difficulty containing their passing game. We'll look to see early whether or not Alabama's made adjustments in their defensive secondary to take care of that passing game. One matchup that I think the fans should be watching in this game is Rich Demler, number 92 for the Trojans at the nose man, and Dwight Stevenson, the offensive center of the Alabama Crimson Tide. He has whipped everybody up to this point, and I think it's going to be another classic battle between those two.
You can hear from the roar of the crowd, and the crowd has to be upwards of 80,000 people at Legion Field in Birmingham as the red shirts come out of the tunnel. This is a football crazy city, and I guess the most precious document in the country had to be tickets for either this game or for the Michigan-Notre Dame game. But let's talk for a moment about this young left-handed quarterback for Southern California.
Well, I was impressed with him a year ago as I watched him warm up. He's got a quick delivery. He does not have the quick feet, although he went out for track. They improved his speed from 5 flat down to 4.8. That's pretty significant. Teaching him how to use his feet, run the classic style that a track man would. That has improved him. But I think significantly, John Robinson has said that McDonald does have the ability, even though he cannot scramble, to keep his eye on the receivers downfield rather than to look at the rush. If he finds open receivers, as a result of that, he can offset his inability to scramble or move quickly.
The Trojans making their appearance, and as the Trojans come out of their side of the field from the tunnel, the rest of the Alabama team comes on. So initially you had the boos, then you had the cheers for the red colors of Alabama. That's a quick look at the two teams, and we'll be showing you this afternoon. The Crimson Tide, top ranked in the nation. Southern California, ranked 7th in the nation. Both teams are undefeated, and we're ready to go. Back here at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Keith Jackson, Ara Parsekian, we're ready to go with today's football game as the respective captains from the two teams are gathered in the center of the field for the flip of the coin. There is the series record. The lone win for Southern California came here in 1970 when Sam Cunningham led the Trojans as they routed Alabama by a score of 42-21. The Alabama 4 wins have all come in Los Angeles. And last year, it was a 21-20. It'll be Tony Nathan and either Major Ogilvie or Lou Eichner dropping back. It will be Eichner going back with Nathan. And Rob Kerr will kick off for Southern Cal. Number 22 is Nathan, and number 30 is Eichner for Alabama. A pair of seniors, and the ball is in the air. It is Nathan out of the end zone, 3 yards deep. He's got a wall. One man. Down he goes at the 42-yard line. Herb Ward stopped Nathan from going all the way. A 45-yard return. Have another look at it as Nathan almost broke it right out of the box.
From this vantage point, it looked like Nathan was gone. He gets great blocking, running to the right side, gets a crack right there, takes it with his acceleration, and one lone tackler. This is a great save, a good tackle saving a touchdown run.
Tide comes up. Ward, the man that stopped Nathan, from the 42. First down, Alabama. They're going to reverse it. It goes to Bolton. And Bruce Bolton does not get back to the line of scrimmage as the outside defender for Southern California stayed at home. Here is the starting unit for Alabama. Jeff Rutledge is the quarterback. Tony Nathan is one of the running backs. Major Ogilvie, another running back, big sophomore, and Steve Whitman starting at fullback. They're all from Birmingham, as you see. Bruce Bolton just carried the ball on the reverse. Is the split end. You will, however, see before too many minutes go by Billy Jackson at fullback, I'm sure. A loss back inside the 40. It'll be second down and about 12. That's Ogilvie in motion. Rutledge hands off. It goes to the fullback on a delay. He fumbles the ball. Alabama recovers it. Whitman turned it loose. And the ball skidded around, but it was covered. Buddy Adelet is at tackle. Mike Brock, number 70, is at a guard. Dwight Stevenson, the fellow we mentioned, is the big center. Vince Booth is the right side guard. Jim Bunch, a good one, at right tackle, and Rick Neal is the tight end. This Alabama team is not as deep as some of the teams we have seen in the past, but both squads must do a lot of substituting today in the interest of saving the athletes for late in the game, because it is 85 degrees and 70+% humidity. Nathan in motion. Rutledge will put it up on second down, and 12 goes over the middle. Wing pass is complete to Tony Nathan, who looped out of the backfield. He went right down the middle, and he caught the bullet from Rutledge. That's a gain of 12, and it should be a first down or very close to it.
They're really opening up the offense by putting a lot of motion. Nathan comes in motion, just turns right over the middle. You see his feet right there, wide open in the seam, and Rutledge delivers the ball.
Football is at the Southern California 48-yard line. The Trojans have Myron Lapka, Rich Demler, and Ty Sperling as the 3 down linemen. Larry McGrew, Dennis Johnson, Chip Banks, and Eric Scoggins are the linebackers. McGrew and Scoggins will go to the outside to play what amounts to defensive end, with Hartwig, Lavender, Smith, and Crawford in the defensive secondary. First and 10, Alabama, Trojan 48. Second man through gets the ball. That's Tony Nathan, wedges down to about the 45 for 3 yards as Scoggins and Johnson gang up on him and bring him down. Alabama is working into a light breeze blowing against them, into their face, but this old Legion Field, going back so many years ago when I was a lad and used to watch the Birmingham Barons play baseball here, has been steadily enlarged until it is now a full bowl and full of folks. Second down and 7. They break the bone, give it to the up man, the fullback, and Whitman goes to about the 41-yard line before he is pinned there again by Eric Scoggins, a sophomore out of Inglewood, California, number 81.
One of the traits of Barrett Bryant is early in the ball game to cause confusion to the defense is to give them a lot of different looks, a lot of different formations, still running their same basic plays, and certainly this game is starting out the same way.
Bruce Bolton has come in at a split end. Keith Pugh has gone out now, so Bolton carried on the first play of the ball game with a wide receiver reverse that didn't work. Send Ogilvie in motion, same alignment. Rutledge rolls left, has time and delivers on the money. The pass is complete. The gain is down to about the 41-yard line as Willie Crawford, number 30, came across to make the tackle for Southern California, and number 22, Tony Nathan, made the reception. Now, in the game we saw against Nebraska, Tony was not a pass receiver. Today, changing things, as Ara said, Bear sends Nathan out of the backfield. He makes one key catch, comes up with another one, but it is still short because of the penalty of the first down. And so Woody Humphrey is in to do the kicking, and Raymond Butler is deep for Southern California. He's a left footer. Pops it up in the air.
shanked it, I think.
He cold dead shanked it out of bounds. Southern California will get very good field position. They're going to mark the ball up near the 30. Well, let's have a look at the Southern California starting backfield men. There is young Paul McDonald out of Covina, California. Charles White from San Fernando. Lynn Kane is the up fullback, or the up man out of the eye. Kevin Williams is the flanker. He can fly, and so can Calvin Sweeney. These will be two of the fastest wide receivers that you're going to find almost anywhere in America this season. That was a 16-yard punt for Humphrey. He was obviously trying to knock the ball down in the corner, but he shanked it. So here come the Trojans. They mark it out at the 25. There it is, 1st and 10 for Southern Cal. Kane and White are the setbacks behind McDonald. Now you've got double motion. Kevin Williams comes to the right, then goes back to the left. Alabama jumping around. McDonald's going to put it up on the first play of the ball game. Throws for Sweeney, overthrows him out of bounds. He was relatively well covered. It'd have to be a 10-point perfect pass, and he didn't quite get it to him. Anthony Munoz, a 270-pounder in there. Pat Howell coming off leg surgery. Chris Foote is the center. The other guard is Brad Buddy, a big junior out of Kansas City. Keith Van Horn, the strong tackle, and James Hunter with a very sore leg is opening at the tight end position. Trojans are very big up front. They're unbalanced to the right side. Sweeney is flanked to the left, the open side. 2nd down and 10 from the 25. Charlie White's first carry, and Charles finds room, and he is smacked out of bounds. But he's across the 30 to the 32. It was Ricky Tucker, the free safety, who came across to get him. He gained 7 yards. Defensively, Alabama offers Gary De Niro opening at the defensive end instead of Wayne Hamilton today. Marty Lyons playing on a cut foot. Curtis McGriff, Mike Sebastian, E.J. Jr. Linebackers are Ricky Gilliland and Barry Krause. Secondary, McNeil, Smith, Legg, and Tucker. 3rd down for USC. They need 3. White again. Good body right, comes to the 35, got the 1st down. McNeil brought him down. Good blocking right side, Southern California offensive line. Bears concerned.
We're going to have to watch that White. You know, even at this stage, he's a 5th leading rusher in USC history, and that's pretty classy stuff when you talk about Simpson and Garrett and Davis and Bell. He's a great one.
Keith Van Horn comes out at tackle. Jack Campbell, a big freshman, 6'6", 250 from Torrance, goes in. John Robinson's record at USC shown there. 36-yard line, 1st down Trojans. McDonald to White. Nothing fancy. Got maybe a yard. Barry Krause, 77, is very obvious there. E.J. Jr., 39, is also right there. Marty Lyons, the defensive tackle in Penn State, came from behind late in the ball game to beat SMU 26-21. Lions, coming off an emotional game last week at Columbus, had to reach inside themselves to find it today, but they came back.
That's pretty normal when you come off with a big game like that. You generally have a little letdown, and they showed a lot of class in coming back and winning.
2nd down, 9, 37-yard line for the Trojans. Williams in motion. Turns it upfield. He throws it out there to Williams, and Kevin bounces it. Incomplete. He had Sweeney and Williams both going together, with Sweeney going down on the fly, but he threw short. There's a look at the fans or air conditioners, if you wish, that University of Southern California brought with them from Los Angeles.
See, they have all our defensive unit there taking advantage of it.
Well, they frankly admitted, having watched our telecast of the Alabama-Nebraska game, they saw and realized that it would be a wise thing to do.
They couldn't put them all on the plane. They had to fly them in cargo.
That's right. 3rd down and 9 now for the Trojans from their 37. McDonald back. Plenty of time. Over the middle. Good. Pass is caught by Calvin Sweeney, the senior out of Riverside, and it's a 1st down. USC, it's at the Alabama 49-yard line. That's a 15-yard pickup. Let's have a look. Pat Sweeney.
He can really fly. He just comes right up the field and gets into the seam. But the important thing on this particular play was McDonald staying right in that pocket. Here's another angle of it. Watch McDonald. He gets good protection. He stays right in there, looks at his receiver, and delivers right on the mark.
Here are the scores. Ohio State 21-3 over Minnesota at halftime. I understand that Woody started Gerald at quarterback. Maryland, North Carolina in a big one in the ACC, 21-20 Terps in the fourth quarter. First down here in Birmingham. Southern California, Charles White has it. Student body right. Look out. He's gone.
He's gone now.
He is gone. Touchdown, Charles White.
What a runner.
Got a tremendous block from Lynn Kane. Got a great starting block from Brad Buddy. The whole right side of the Trojan line opened the hole for him. He cut back against it. Two Alabama defenders ran together, and Charles was gone. 78 yards, 7 carries. We have 6:18 to play in the first quarter, and USC's on the board. Frank Jordan is in for the extra point try. Marty King, the punter, holds for the place kicker, Jordan. It's good. And so Southern California, with a burst from the 40-yard line by Charles White, takes the lead 7-0.
Put yourself in the position of a defensive secondary man here and try to corral Charles White. He gets beautiful blocking here. Brad Buddy sets a great block, and when he gets into that secondary, Charles White really moves. He cuts back against the grain, where number 49, Bobby Smith, is trying to keep him inside, but away he goes. What a runner.
Look back into the heavy traffic now. Watch Rich Wingo get taken out of here by Buddy's block that got Charles on the way.
Here's another angle. Wingo comes across. Buddy just knocks him right down. That's what makes long runs. Particularly when you got a guy like White with his hands on the ball.
Rob Kerr kicks off for Southern California. It goes deep into the end zone. Eichner has it. He will not return it. It'll be Alabama's ball, first down at the 20. Lou Eichner, Billy Jackson, Stedman, Shealy, Joe Jones. The backfield for Alabama. There has gone to a complete new backfield to keep fresh people in there. Shealy keeps it. Outside of Eichner, down the sideline. He can fly. And he is thrown out of bounds. Down around the Southern California 40 by 10, Lavender, number 48.
That was a classic because the Trojans over-defense the wide side of the field here. I believe Stedman audibilized this. And he goes to the right to the short side, makes a great fake, comes down the line. When he's forced to pitch, he deals the ball off to Eichner. He's got the sideline, nobody home, and the touchdown is saved by, who was that?
Lavender.
That's Lavender, yeah.
First down and 15 as the ball is pitched back, and nothing there as Southern California swarms. Joe Jones, a sophomore out of Thomaston, Georgia. William Banks, a freshman linebacker from Augusta, Georgia, starting today for Southern California.
They changed up their coverage on the option and the pitch man, and it worked well for them. But it's interesting, on the previous play when Eichner went down the sideline, Dimmler was out of the ball game getting a little blow.
5-yard penalties can nag you to death. Second down and 13. Shealy keeps it. Sticks his head in there and gets it to about the 41 of Southern California. So they'll be looking at third down and 9.
Looks like his knee is all right now. Looks like, you know, he had knee surgery, I guess, and he's come off of that, and I guess he's got his quickness back now.
He played last week, took something like 12 snaps or so against Missouri. Ran 3 times. Very valuable. We wind down to the end of the first quarter. They'll stop it before the play is off, and USC leads after 1, 7-0. After one period of play, Southern California 7, Alabama nothing, and the Trojans have been pretty much in command of the football game. Fumbled it away one time on the Alabama 2, first and goal. But then White broke one from 40. It is third down and 9, Alabama from the SC 41. Shealy will throw. Throws to the sidelines. Bolton. He caught it. Marvelous catch by Bruce Bolton at the SC 19. He caught it over Willie Crawford. 22 yards on the play. Crawford got a hand on it. Bolton caught the ricochet.
That's terrific concentration by Bolton. Because I think Crawford got his hand on the ball and got a pretty good piece of it. He just comes down and out. Here's Crawford reaching out, deflects the ball, and Bolton still makes the catch. Great throw and great catch.
Near the 19, first down, Alabama. First serious threat of the ball game for the Tide. First unit offensive line is back in for the second unit backfield. Jackson. Billy Jackson to the 10-yard line. He got a great hold from Bunch, Booth, and Stevenson.
Well, that was a good job of blocking by Stevenson. Brock. Looked like they handled Dimler that time. There you can see in the first quarter, 122 yards to 87. But it looks like the Tide's coming back.
SC7, Alabama threatening at the Southern California 10, second down, 1. Jones should have the first down at about the 8. Sperling, 63, 255 sophomore out of Wilmington, California, the stop. Pistol Pete Williams of Navy, the referee. Nathan is in. Ogilvy is in. Sheely stays at quarterback. Stephen Sheely, who has great running ability, has helped tremendously in exercising the option for Alabama. It was the option that beat Southern California last year. Sheely keeps. Down he goes at the line of scrimmage. Number 81, Eric Scoggins, linebacker, sophomore out of Inglewood, California, brought him down. I'll tell you something about this fellow Sheely, that he's a lot of folks on the Alabama football team do not necessarily consider him a second-string quarterback. He is a different kind of quarterback.
Right, he sure is, but I'll tell you, you got to give credit to Paul Bear Bryant. He'll go ahead and play the guys, and he'll play the second-string backfield and the second-string line, and they move the football.
Sheely now, second down and goal from the 9. Rides it off to Billy Jackson, and Jackson is down inside the 1-yard line. Just short. Do they signal touchdown? Yes, they call it touchdown.
Boy, that was good running by Billy Jackson. He made about 2 or 3 second efforts in there.
Well, it is not a touchdown.
No?
Hands were in the air in the traditional touchdown signal.
There it is. Watch Jackson. He gets good blocking in the front line. Looks like he's picked off right here. Then he gives it another thrust. Trips, keeps his balance. And that is just a terrific piece of running, because that's hard yardage to get down in there. They went from about the 8-yard line to the inside the 1.
At the 1-yard line, third down for Alabama. I don't know why in the world the 3 officials out there had their hands up. I didn't think he got to the goal line. It didn't look like he penetrated the plane of the goal line. Where
He rose up, huh?
13-13 to go in the first half.
It's quite a performance by Stedman Sheely on this drive. He really has looked good, and so has the entire Alabama offensive team. Mixed up the plays well and done a great job of execution.
Third and goal from the 1. Ogilvy didn't make it. The Trojans pinch him down short of the goal line. It'll be 4th and goal to go.
Looked like he had a hole in there, and the Trojans filled it up before he could blink your eyes.
Ogilvy leaves. They tore the shirt off his back. Eichner comes to replace him.
Better hurry in here and not get a 5-yard penalty.
Better hurry. Play for Alabama in this possession. 4th down, goal to go, 1-yard line. Nathan, no sir. Trojans hold him. Southern California stacking. Fights off Alabama at the goal line with Lapka, Johnson, Banks, Dimler stacking it up. So time is out, 12:49 to go, and Southern California stops Alabama at the 1. So Southern California's defense does its job. Trojan offense standing in the end zone now as the referee blows the ball live. And a look at the stop. In particular, Dennis Johnson, 56, 51, Chip Banks, and underneath Lapka, defensive tackle, stacked them up. And the Trojans take the ball at the 1. First down. Charles White. White is across the 5 to the 7, where E.J. Jr. makes the tackle.
That's amazing. That play was designed to go off tackle to the right. There was nothing there. And White cut that thing clear back to the left guard and picked up about 5-6 yards on it.
Scores out of the middle of the country in that final from South Bend. You can see Oklahoma's going to have sore legs before they get through today. Penn State edging SMU. Now UCLA coming back in the fourth quarter, down by 7, with Pittsburgh fighting off Temple to win by 8. It is second down and 4 for Southern Cal. Here to the outside comes White Ford. Across the 10 to the 11, he may have a first down. White Ford in at tailback, replacing Charles White. And John Robinson has no fear of putting Ford in a ball game because he is a game breaker.
E.J. Jr. did a good job of fighting off 2 blockers that time, but he couldn't quite get his hand on Ford.
Big break for the Trojans. Pitch to Charles White.
Oh, my.
10 yards, maybe 11.
What a runner.
All those tailbacks at USC have that skating action and that long stride, leaving them room to accelerate if there's a hole somewhere. 10 carries for White, 102 yards already.
Doesn't look like he's going to get much right here. There are a lot of Alabama people, but look at that.
Yeah, but look at that 71 up there. That Buddy laying another big block for him, and Kane, the fullback, 21. Just outside the 42, third down, 9. Donald looking. Gonna run it. Dives, and he may have his first down at the Alabama 48. The Trojans were peeling back. Hunter, the tight end, had come back trying to throw a block, and if James had been able to get there in time, McDonald could run quite a while.
He's not too dumb, boy. He got down on that ground.
They also had 4 receivers in the secondary. So I'll tell you something, when you got 4 men out there and can't find one, somebody's playing decent defense, aren't they?
Yeah, good coverage that time.
It is a first down, Southern California at the Alabama 48. Both coaches substituting a lot. Hot, muggy day. So it is third down, 8. 7:15 to go in the first half. White in motion. McDonald wants to throw, does. Right on the money. Pass is complete to Raymond Butler, Jr. out of Brazoria, Texas, and that'll be another Southern California first down. The Trojans dominating this first half of play.
Don looked cool on that. There he is, flanked out. Raymond Butler comes straight up the field, reads the coverage, and turns out that McDonald was very cool on that play. He got a good rush. Didn't look like he was going to have much time. He still delivered it right on the mark.
Football is marked at the 33 of Alabama. First down, Trojans. 6:55 to go first half. SC leads 7-0. White. Charles White has the ability, with marvelous balance, is when he is hit, he can still squeeze another yard and a half on you.
This doesn't seem like the first guy ever has an opportunity to stop him cold. He's got one-on-one in the open field. It's just impossible to try to corral that dude.
Scott comes in at linebacker now, replacing Gilliland for Alabama on second down and call it 4. Outside the 30. Kane. Then Kane to throw back to the 17. First down, Southern California. A big offensive front for SC of Buddy, Foot, Van Horn, Howell, Munoz opening the hole.
Well, we're seeing the Trojan fullback run the ball. You see Kane here reads the daylight, breaks it back to the left. The play was designed to go right over the right guard. Doggone good running. We may see more Trojan fullbacks running.
Alan Q, 75, was in there at the right tackle slot and threw a big block for them. It's White again. And White is shoved out of bounds as he crosses the 15-yard line. So he gained at least 2, maybe 3. They'll mark it at the 14. Give him 3.
You know, over the years, Keith, I've always admired the durability of the running backs of the Southern California Trojans. They carry the ball anywhere from 20 to 35 times, and they just keep coming right at you.
USC is possessing the ball against Alabama. This is the 16th play of this possession. They started at their own 1-yard line after holding the tie. White with 114. He's got it again. He's got a hold. And he spins it to the 10. He fumbles the ball. Kane, the fullback, covers for Southern California at about the 12. So White, who fumbled on the 1-yard line, for SC in the first quarter. Almost let it get away that time.
You know, this drive probably wouldn't have happened had they not had that personal foul on that punting situation, and they retained possession of it. Those are the kind of penalties that can really hurt you.
Third down for the Southern California Trojans. The football is marked right about the Alabama 12-yard line. They need a long 4 for the first down. They've got to go exactly to the 7. They have held the ball for 7 minutes and 35 seconds, 16 plays in this possession. DeLulo is in at fullback, replacing Kane. White, the tailback. McDonald looking to throw. Goes to the corner. Sweeney overthrows him, out of bounds, incomplete. And a penalty flag on the field. The crowd, 77,313. That is a new attendance record for a football game in the state of Alabama. Holding USC.
Well, that's the kind of penalties. This is what we tried to coach and avoid when I was coaching. Avoid those penalties, particularly when you're in 4-down area and we're driving in. And of course, the same thing happened to Alabama to allow Southern California to have that football and drive the ball 16 plays.
White's a man in motion. McDonald getting good protection, goes to White on the sidelines. Charles has no place to go except down. At the 23, it'll bring up 4th down as Murray Legg, number 19, was right there.
Well, that little yardage they got may have put him in a little better field position because I think he picked up, what, 4 or 5 yards there?
Final score, big upset there, 28-24 Kansas. Upsets UCLA. You'll have to look around a long time to find a bigger one than that. Frank Jordan is in for the field goal try. It'll be a 40-yarder. Hit it from the 30. They've got it on the left side for the sidewinder to hook it. He's got it up. He's got enough leg. He's got a good one. At 4:27 to go in the first half of play, the Southern California Trojans move out to a 10-0 lead over the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Nathan and Eichner are deep now for Alabama as Rod Kerr is in to kick off. The kick is high for Eichner at the 3. Oh! Who was it? Kenny Moore, number 43, downfield like a bullet. Start on the road. But they'll give Alabama, I'm sure, a pretty good ball game in Seattle. That's what's coming up on ABC's Wide World of Sports next Saturday. The Silverstone 150, United States Gymnastics World Team Trials, 5 Eastern and Pacific and 4 Central Time. 55 seconds left. Back to Rutledge. They want to throw it. Throws it as far as he can. Tony Nathan is out there.
What a catch.
Picked off by Herb Ward, his second interception of the ball game.
What a catch. I couldn't believe he could get to that ball. He got it on his fingertip, and he brought it back to himself when he was extended fully in the air. Here's another look. It's a little gadget. They pitch it out like it's going to be a sweep. He turns around and gives it back to Rutledge. He throws the ball downfield. Watch this interception. He gets it on his right hand, and what a catch. Woo.
Herb Ward came out of San Francisco City College, 1977. Did not play last year, was redshirted, but he is very obvious in 1978.
You see, Nathan came down and was hopeful that Ward would bite the bait. It looked like he was going to stop there for a turn-in, but Ward hung back and picked the ball up.
Herb now with 3 interceptions on the season. The pitch to Dwight Ford, who had left the game with a strained left knee, but he comes back into the lineup as a happy Herb Ward exults on the sidelines with 42 seconds to play in the first half, and the Trojans leading Alabama 10-0. It's been the Charles White show so far. Only slightly second billing to the USC defense. Ford is your tailback. Second down 5. Kane is wrestled down by Lyles, the nose guard for Alabama. So you're looking at 3rd down and 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, if Alabama had scored when they were down on that 1-yard line, this would be a 10-7 game instead of a 10-0 game. I never would have believed that Trojans could keep them out of the end zone. We were down there that close to the goal line, but that just goes to show you anything can happen in this great game of college football.
Should be the last play of the first half. Charles White on an option turns it upfield. And a penalty. And time has expired. The first half is over. So at halftime, the University of Southern California Trojans, pretty well controlling the football game, lead the Crimson Tide of Alabama by a score of 10-0. We're at halftime here in Birmingham with Southern California leading Alabama by a score of 10-0. There are some comments from you on the first half of play.
Well, the two things that I mentioned at the top of the show is the ability of the Trojan offense to move the ball this year instead of throw it, and they have done that. They've moved the ball on the ground. And also we have seen Alabama retaliating with a pass defense that has been real good. They've shorted up real well, although McDonald is pretty cool back there and has thrown some strikes. Quite a football game.
But so far it has been the Charles White show with the USC defense having a brilliant moment or two. The Charles White now, it's incredible numbers at halftime. He may be headed for a 200-yard-plus day.
He's really putting on some kind of a performance out here, but he's been a great back. And the yardage that he's gained, the touchdowns that he's had. Here's a picture of him right here, number 12. I'll tell you, he's the kind of back that comes along just so often. You don't get many like this.
Here he strikes from 40 yards. Remember now that Charles had fumbled on the 1-yard line with Alabama recovering. SC gets the ball back. White goes outside, gets some good blocking, but once he gets into the secondary, he's pretty much on his own. And from that point on, he just flat flew.
He's got that innate ability to read blocks and also move the opposite direction of the weight shift that a defender has. And this is the earmark of the great backs. You don't see that often, that many great backs as Charles White. He's great today.
A field goal from Frank Jordan made it 10-0 halftime. That's where we are. The teams have come back. We're about ready to tee it up for the second half. The first half statistics show you that Southern California was the dominant team, totaling 258 yards against the 135 for Alabama. They held the ball roughly 4 minutes longer than Alabama did. And we're now ready to go with the second half of play as Alabama kicks off to Southern Cal. From the end zone, Butler, no. He'll bring it back to the 20 instead. So now let's have a close-up look at the young men who play the defensive front for Alabama. Gary De Niro started. Marty Lyons, big tackle. Curtis McGriff works in the middle. Mike Sebastian at a tackle, and E.J. Jr. the third at defensive end. Southern California sends out Paul McDonald with Lynn Kane. Charles White set behind him. Sweeney left. Kevin Williams in motion. Chris Foot to snap it. Ball goes to White. White runs into the stack, bounces off, and bounces back to about the 23. The Alabama linebackers will line up this way. Ricky Gilliland scored a touchdown last week. Barry Krause is number 77. Don McNeil at a corner. Bobby Smith, the other one. Murray Legg, the strong safety. And the free safety is Ricky Tucker. Show you the Trojan defense. Alabama has the ball. Second down and 7. McDonald wants to throw. Does short. And it's to the big tight end Hunter, who is just flat crunched when he gets up across the 30 to the 32. High low.
He just stood right on the line of scrimmage and faked the block. And McDonald rolled out to his left. All the underneath coverage, the linebackers went back, and of course then he was wide open when he slipped through. It's a real tough pass to cover against the zone defense.
Offensive front for Southern Cal listed there. It is a first down for the Trojans at their own 32-yard line. 6-man front for Alabama defensively. White throws it to the quarterback, McDonald. And the sum total of the effort is a loss with a penalty flag on the field. Loss is back to the 27 of 5 yards. Let's check the penalty.
I don't think Robinson wanted that kind of improvising, but that's what he did.
flag is picked up. Apparently there will be no penalty. Gilliland.
Oh, the
Little
officials
face mask.
missed that one.
Maybe they declined it, but we didn't get a wave off from the officials. Lynn Kane trying to go outside from his fullback position. Runs it from the 27 out to about the 32, where it's going to be third down. They'll give him up near the 33, apparently, so make it second down and 9. Third down and 9. Get it right yet. But keep trying. Big folks up front for the Trojans, tackle to tackle. Of course, Munoz at 273 helps the average considerably. Third down, a little over 9 for the first down. Alabama's 4-man front. They're dropping off. They give it to Charles White. White's caught. Fumble for football. Alabama's got it. Big turnover in the football game. Second fumble by White at the 42 of USC. Alabama has it. White's second effort trying to break the tackle, and the ball squirted loose.
Is that Ricky Tucker that shook it loose? Take a look here. White comes good, gets good blocking in front of him. Right there. No, yes it is. It's Ricky Tucker that shook that ball loose.
And Alabama's operating at the USC 41. Major Ogilvie breaks it. He's gone. And John Robinson is shocked. The try for the extra point is good by McElroy, Alan McElroy. Legion Field is fairly rattling. Early in the third quarter, it's now 10-7 USC. Charles White is deep for Southern California, along with Raymond Butler, to receive the kickoff from Alabama, as Major Ogilvie counted it back over the middle with a great block from Booth and Stevenson. Raced 41 yards. And here we go with the kickoff. High, it is deep. Butler goes to the back line, looks at it, and it goes beyond the field of play. Here's a look at the touchdown run by Ogilvie.
There's some great blocking. If you watch Dimmler, they double up on him. Ogilvie breaks to the inside of it. He gets daylight. He splits into the secondary. Makes a move to his right, and now he's beyond everybody in just a foot race walking into the end zone here. What a beautifully blocked play, and Alabama's back in this game.
Trojans ball, first down at their own 20. Place is roaring. They simmer down a little. The Trojans get the play off. Charles White to the 25. Ricky Gilliland, the tackle. 20 carries, 166 yards for Charles White. On second and 5, it's Dwight Ford for 1. E.J. Jr., the tackle.
You know, you wonder, Keith, whether or not the heat and humidity will take its toll of the Trojans in the second half. Coach Bryant said that this has been the hottest preseason and regular season practice sessions that he's ever had. And I'm sure that Alabama is more accustomed to it, certainly, than the Trojans. Even though they're out there in warm country, the humidity is not as high.
Leslie's got to be a little shocked having Alabama hit him with a bolt of lightning, but then Alabama had to absorb one themselves. It's third down and 4. Ford is in motion, and McDonald to throw it. He has all day, and he throws behind Butler, and Raymond can't hang on. McDonald had a long time to get it off. He had a man and just simply didn't hit him.
Well, he was moving out to his left, and he threw the ball behind him.
Ball is now 7 of 12 for 67 yards. there is pandemonium at the moment in Birmingham, because obviously this is an Alabama crowd. Some 3,000 Trojan fans are here. Marty King has kicked twice, 42.5-yard average. Nathan deep. Not a particularly good kick. It takes a Trojan bounce on the sidelines, but it'll be marked out of bounds at the Alabama 36-yard line. That's a 38-yard punt, 11:19 to go. USC Eric Scoggins, Myron Lapka, the defensive front, Rich Demler, the nose guard, Ty Sperling is the defensive tackle. Linebacker or outside man is Larry McGrew. Show you the rest of them after this play.
Let's see if they come to the middle again. Same play to the left.
Bolton wide right.
It is, same play left. There it is.
Nathan slashes up the middle to the 42. From the 36 to the 42 for 6 yards for Tony Nathan. Dennis Johnson, the tackle, number 56.
What happens on the play, they fake to the fullback and then they hand back, and the linebackers are misdirected by 1 fraction of a second or 1 step. Johnson did a great job here of recovering and making the tackle.
52 defense for SC as the ball goes to Whitman, the fullback, and he is popped down right about the 45, give him a yard. But those Bridgeport, Pennsylvania Bama boosters have been active for 12 years. 30 of them came down here last Monday. They spend the entire week and are at the ball game today. They provide a $1,000 scholarship for the University of Alabama football team. Nobody in this group ever attended Alabama. There is no connection in any way with Alabama, except they decided they were tired of everybody around them rooting for somebody, so they just got themselves together, chose Alabama to cheer for, and they've been doing it for 12 years. Rutledge going. It is intercepted, intended for Bolton on the sidelines, and it is intercepted by Lavender, number 48, Tim Lavender. That is the 3rd interception off Rutledge today. So when Jeff's streak of passes without interception collapsed last week at Missouri, stepped in here today, and he's really been burned by the Trojans.
You can see Lavender had him one-on-one here, man-to-man coverage, and he had him covered like a blanket, stepped inside and picked off Rutledge's throw. Rutledge fakes to the fullback, rolls away from the action. Bolton comes down the field, but Lavender is right there. That's tough one-on-one coverage, but he made a great play.
And it's first down SC from the 25. And the fullback, Lynn Kane, breaks it across the 30 to about the 33 and really took a pop as he went tumbling down.
Been a number of times in this ball game that Southern California has been in man-to-man coverage, one-on-one against the receivers of Alabama, and they have not been able to defeat him with any consistency. Two plays before that interception, it looked like they were going to have a big gainer, but the Trojans secondary recovered.
I won't be surprised to see Shealy back on the next series. Second down, 2. Into the middle goes Kane, and he's up across the 35. That should be Southern Cal first down with Byron Braggs or Curtis McGriff. They both work in the middle. McGriff 96 and Braggs 47, and Braggs, the sophomore out of Montgomery, at 260 right now. It is a first down for Southern Cal at the 36. 2.5 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Trojans lead by 3, 10-7. Butler wide left. White has it.
Doing a better job on White this half. I think that's about 5 times or about 27 yards. And that's holding him under his average.
Barry Krause got him for the 2nd time here in the 3rd quarter. Give him a yard, 2nd and 9. Ford is now in at tailback. White is on the sidelines talking to John Robinson. Shift the tight end Hunter to the other side. Go to the fullback, Lynn Kane. And he's to the 45, just short of the first down. E.J. Jr., the tackle.
He knifed through there that time. It looked like he might not get anything, and he turned his shoulders and spun through a very small opening and made it 3rd down and 1. He got some yardage there it didn't look like he'd get.
Kane has picked up 34 of his 6 to 7 yards in this half. 48-yard line. At 1:15 to go as the clock stops to move the chains.
That's 19 first downs for the Trojans and I think only 10 for Alabama. But it's still a 10-7 ball game and anyone's contest.
Philadelphia beat the Mets twice today in the National League. Montreal beat Pittsburgh. The Phillies pick up a game and a half on the Bucks in the National League East. McDonald wants to throw it. Going for Cal Sweeney. Intercepted by Jim Bob Harris, a freshman from Athens, Georgia.
That is a great interception.
First interception for Alabama today. 44 seconds to go, third quarter. Another look at the interception as Alabama comes up with the football.
Sweeney lined up in the I-back position, went in motion. He was camouflaged there. Donald tried to go for the bomb, and you can see Jim Bob Harris comes back, dives for the ball, and makes a sensational interception.
First down, Alabama, 12-yard line. Rutley stays at quarterback, gives to Billy Jackson. He's got a couple, that's it. Time winding down now at the end of the third quarter. Ty Sperling tackle for USC. There's the young man, freshman out of Athens, Georgia, who made that interception for Alabama. And they used to say freshmen couldn't play.
They helped me when I was coaching, I'll tell you.
Second down and 8. Ball is at the 14. Oh, goodness. Big play there by Myron Lapka, number 96, as he broke through and nailed Lou Eichner on the last play of the third quarter. So Alabama will have the ball, third and long coming up, trailing by 3. It'll be third and long for Alabama as we go to the first play of the final quarter with Southern California leading 10-7. Jeff Rutledge has not completed a pass since the first quarter. He's 2 for 8, 17 yards, 3 interceptions in the game. He's going to try it again. Oh. Number 81, Eric Scoggins, just flattened it.
Rutledge turned back to scramble out of it, and Scoggins was right there. He really took a lick there.
First sack of the Alabama quarterback in the game. They're tied now with Humphrey to punt out of his end zone, and Southern California has to get good field position. Butler is deep.
Had trouble kicking into the wind this way. Looks like
Trojans coming, kick is away. Good kick into the wind this time, hangs up. Fair catch is called, but it is good field position for Southern California. First down at the Alabama 39-yard line. First down, Southern California. White. White cuts it back in the middle and runs for about 7 yards. Down near the 32. They'll mark at the 33. Give him 6.
He does a beautiful job of reading the blocking. Here's the statistics at the end of the third quarter. Almost double in first downs. And the yardage, of course, almost 100 yards more for the Trojans. And net yardage, 337 to 224.
Second and 4.
Broken play.
McDonald's loose and gets the first down at the Alabama 25. Bobby Smith brought him down, but the young quarterback turned it around the corner and got the yardage he needed for the first.
That's when you see the linebackers are keying on the backs, and the backs take off one way. They're not aware that the quarterback is not going to throw one of the backs a toss pitch, and you get a broken play making good yardage.
Fullback Kane. Not a whole lot. Warren Lyles, 91. He's played a lot at the nose guard position today for Alabama. Freshman out of Birmingham. Give him 2. Second down, 8 from the 23. Kane now with 70 yards in the ball game. White, however, has 181 of the 353 total. McDonald throws it. it, and the pass is incomplete. Should be interference. He threw the ball at Charles White. E.J. Jr. flattened him, and it almost has to be interference.
Looks like it.
Jr. just leveled Charles.
You know, McDonald's getting a lot of time, too. It seems as if he's getting an opportunity to look around the field. There's McDonald. He rolls out to the right. White slips out to the left side, to the back side, to the right side of your screen. Now McDonald comes scrambling out, throws the ball. Let's see if we can see if contact's made before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
how about sawed in half?
Yeah.
So it'll be first down for Southern California on the interference penalty at the Alabama 22. Nose of the ball just touching the 22 stripe. Charles White to the tight side. Tackle. And he is thrown down by Jim Bob Harris, number 9.
That was a good tackle. He came in there, and you don't see White handle that way. But, Jim Bob Harris, good football player, freshman from Athens, Georgia, 6'2" and about 185, and he's playing a super job at right halfback.
And every time you say that, you aggravate somebody at University of Georgia, because he grew up not very far from the campus.
Looks like they did all right today. They beat Clemson.
That's right. White Ford is in at tailback. Hand off to Lynn Kane, the fullback. Good tough run by Kane. He'll be about a yard shy of his first down with good blocking from Pat Howell, the 255-pound senior guard from Fresno, California.
Doesn't look like he's getting that much yardage, but it just seems to bleed yard after yard.
I'll tell you one thing, that Trojan offensive front comes off the snap of that ball with authority.
Well, they're so big. Of course, Robinson was concerned because they hadn't gelled together in the first 2 games, but certainly in comparing this game of a year ago, they're moving much better. They're moving the ball in the running game.
White, hurdles over the top, and one of the officials goes down onto the pile of third down, and he just sailed over the top to get the first down inside the 10-yard line. The official is all right.
You couldn't have played any better defense. Alabama's in great position. Watch White just go over top. Look at this. Look at this. Keeps his balance, almost loses the ball there.
Been taking Sam Bam lessons.
Oh, and they got the umpire put to bed there.
Yeah. White now has 191 yards on 25 carries. First and goal to go. Southern Cal at the Alabama 7-yard line. McDonald has Williams, and it's touchdown.
That's a good call. Good call. Alabama's looking for the run, and they came right out and threw the ball on first down. See here, he's in a tight formation, which implies run, and he just rolls out to the right, and Kevin Williams, who's a real burner anyway, he's running 9.400. He's wide open here, and Alabama was defending the run, which I probably would have been doing the same thing on first down at that position in the field. It was a good call.
He almost falls down, though, Harry. You see that he almost lost his footing.
Right. He was much leaning here. There's the throw. There's another angle. Look, right here gets on his left foot there and almost slips. Keeps his balance. And he's in the end zone for a score.
The extra point try by Frank Jordan is good. And so with 11:15 to play in the game, Southern California leads 17-7. Eichner and Nathan are deep to accept Rob Kerr's kickoff as USC takes it 39 yards in 7 plays to lead 17-7 with 11:15 to play in the game. When it goes bad, it goes bad.
Sure does.
Eichner and Nathan didn't get their act together, and Alabama now covers the ball, and they'll have to go to work from about the 7-yard line, first down, trailing by 10.
They've had tough field position in this half, particularly the last 2 or 3 possessions.
They've not been successful through the air. Rutledge is out there, 2 for 8, 17 yards and 3 interceptions so far in the game. A year ago in Los Angeles, Southern California, remember, had a 15-game win streak snapped by Alabama and lost first place in the polls. Today, coming into this one, Alabama was number 1 and had the nation's longest win streak. From the 7, first down, tied. Rutledge puts it up, and the pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage and over the hands of Rick Neal, the tight end.
He's wide open. Come out of that poor field position. He's been out around the 20-yard line, which gives him a little breathing room.
Now becomes a question as who ascends to the top spot. Oklahoma, they ran their legs off today and against Rice. So I imagine the Sooners will be in a pretty good position to take first place in the national polls this week. Down he goes. Scoggins making the tackle on Nathan as Rutledge and Nathan ran together. And the loss is back to near the 2-yard line. And now the 77,000 plus here at Legion Field are sort of awestruck at what the Southern California Trojans are doing to the Crimson Tide.
Well, the Alabama's contributed to that. Came back on a little drop play, and quarterback runs into the halfback. You can't go very many places. And then, of course, the other pass, when he was open, they didn't execute it.
Nathan's gained only 31 yards so far. Out of the end zone. Swing it out to Tony.
Wow.
Back to the original line of scrimmage, and that'll do it. It'll bring up a 4th down for Alabama, and SC will get the ball one more time, and again, we'll get good field position.
There was some contact in there that time, Keith. Woo.
Humphrey out of the end zone to punt. Butler deep for SC.
A little better one there.
Yep. Lot back, fair catch call. It'll be Southern California owning the football, first down at the Alabama 46-yard line on a 39-yard punt. First down, Trojans. They lead by 10. McDonald gives it to Charles White. He's looking for 200 yards today, and he's closing in on it as he goes down to the 41. That's 5 more, and that should give him 196, and it does, according to our statistician, Mike Swanson. Jeff Rutledge, who has been beleaguered today, the Alabama quarterback.
Alabama needs a break here to get the ball back, get back in this ball game. The clock is running at 9:24. That's a lot of time, but they need the ball and they need field position.
2nd and 5 from the 41 of Alabama. Goes to the fullback, Glenn Kane. Kane is grabbed by Warren Lyles and Marty Lyons. He gets 1 yard. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4. SC broke on top in the first quarter with a 40-yard run by Charles White to take a 7-0 lead. Jordan hit a field goal to make it 10-0 halftime. Ogilvy ran 41 to make it 10-7. And then Williams caught a 6-yard pass from McDonald to make it 17-7. And that's where we are now in the 4th quarter.
Well, they got a blitz on him.
McDonald puts it up, and it is caught by Williams. Went right through the hands of McNeil, and it's a touchdown. USC.
I can't believe that. Wow. Looked like an interception.
Now look what I found. Touchdown for little Kevin Williams.
McDonald rolls out to his left, and it looks like Don McNeil has a perfect interception here. He must have misjudged it. Here he is right here. The ball, and he jumped too soon. I think he jumped just a tad too soon and went right through his hands. And that's the kind that you don't see very often.
The kick is up. The kick is good. And now, all of a sudden, it is USC 24, Alabama 7. And some of the folks get up and start the long ride home. Nathan and Eichner deep in the end zone. They've been there quite a few times today, accepting USC kicks. Trojans lead 24-7 with 8:34 to play in the game as Rob Kerr hits it high, and it'll go to the end zone for Nathan. He can't get it back any farther than the 14-yard line as Jeff Metter comes down and makes the tackle.
Oh, getting a lot of good hang time on the ball. It's up in the air a long time, and they get terrific coverage.
Kevin Williams' story today, and he had to be as surprised as anybody to have just come away with 6 points. As Rutledge options down the line for Tony Nathan, turns the corner, gets the first down. As Nathan running hard and running through the 25 to about the 27 with Ogilvy throwing a key block for him. The top 10 teams today fared this way, at least those who have completed their ball games, with Oklahoma winning in a rout over Rice 66-7. Arkansas, ranked 3rd, defeated Oklahoma State in a bit of a struggle, 19-7, with Michigan beating Notre Dame 28-14. Penn State had to fight for their lives to get by SMU 26-21. UCLA, as we noted, upset by Kansas today, so they're bound to fall well back in the rankings. And Pitt didn't have it easy against the Temple Owls either. 9th-ranked Pitt finally pulled it out.
They must be a pretty good football team. They've played two good teams, Penn State and Pitt, giving them all they wanted.
Right. Ohio State winning, Maryland winning. Time is out on the field. We have exactly 8 minutes and 17 seconds to play in this ball game. Alabama's last 4 possessions, as you look at scores out of the Ivy League, they've had it on their 12 twice, on their 7 once. In fact, they've had it on their 12-yard line 3 times in their last 4 possessions.
Really,
it's a tough place to work.
It really is. It's tough. You're just fighting an uphill battle. You just can't get anything going.
But it's now first down, Alabama, at their own 26. Rutledge. Outside it goes to Nathan. And Tony Nathan now beginning to show some moves. Perhaps USC's defense relaxing a little bit with a 17-point lead. Ronnie Lott made that last stop.
Continue to make yardage on the outside option. Rutledge fakes the ball to the fullback, comes down the line, gets the commitment, deals the ball off with a lead blocker, and they have picked up 2 first downs. Well, they're just shy of 1 here.
Nathan's total yardage beginning to add up now. He has 53 in the ball game on 11 carries, but he's got 22 of those yards on his last 3 carries. Second down and about a yard tied. Rutledge want to go big here on 2nd and short. Goes over the middle. Tim Travis can't hold it. Travis was open. The pass was thrown hard and it was thrown low. And Tim couldn't hang on.
He was really open on the play. This comes down the field. They made a good run action fake to the inside to hold the linebackers. Travis gets down into the secondary. Rutledge really delivers the ball hard here. It's a little low. He's got it in his hands. Then it comes away as he falls, and he loses what would have been a real great game.
And Alabama down by 17, and we move inside. 8 minutes to play in a ball game. And the Bear is on the prowl.
The Trojans elected not to go into a goal line defense with man coverage, just to protect their lead, and go ahead and give them the first down, try to make them go the hard way, eat up the clock.
Rutledge to throw it, gets his pass away. The pass is complete to Bart Krause, tight end, freshman out of Birmingham. That'll be another tied first down. Last time these two teams played here in Birmingham was 1970. The Trojans won 42-21. If you look at the play again, and this youngster Krause went way up in the air to get it.
He had a great catch here. Just a freshman. Rowe is there. Good coverage, too. He's right on top of him. But Krause holds on to the ball.
At the SC 41, Rutledge goes over the middle. Crowd again. He's on his way. It's a touchdown. Try for extra point by McElroy is good. So the young freshman, Bart Krause, 6'3", 225-pounder from Birmingham, Alabama, makes 2 catches in a row. One of them he went way up to get it. This one he broke over the middle. The pass was on the money, and he tumbled it into the end zone.
Throwback pattern. He broke right over the middle. Rutledge was looking for a sideline on a throwback, but he found him in the middle with no one around. And there is the second touchdown for the Crimson Tide.
The last time Alabama lost a football game here at Legion Field was 1975, a game that we did on a Monday night when Tony Galbraith and the Missouri Tigers beat them.
Yeah.
Gone off 12 straight wins.
One thing that might influence this decision is the fact that Alabama still has 3 timeouts left, where USC only has 1.
All right, let's see what will happen here on our onside kick or a straightaway kick.
We're deploying in anticipation of an onside kick.
Got a lot of receivers and backs up on the front to receive it. It is an onside. It bounces up in the air and bounces right into the hands of number 43, Kenny Moore. And Moore controls it, and SC gets the ball first down at their own 45.
That's not the kind of bounce you want on that onside kick. It took a big handle on it. I mean, it took a big bounce, and it was easy to field. You want those kind that are squibbing down along the ground.
All right, let's see what Alabama's defense can do now about taking the ball away from Southern Cal if they are to get back in the hunt. Charles White, the deep man. Then Kane, the fullback, out of the eye. It's White. And he is popped by E.J. Jr. at the 45. Gets 1 yard, 2nd and 9 coming.
Had a stun on the weak side there where the split end was. E.J. Jr. just closed down tight inside. A tackle loop to the outside, and it worked perfectly because Trojans were trying to go up the middle.
White now with 197 yards in the ball game. Offensive and defensive players of the game, each receiving for their university's general scholarship fund $1,000 from Chevrolet. White with the ball. Not much room. In fact, none. Lost a yard. Back to the 45. Wingo and Lyons made the stop.
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether or not Robinson wants to put the ball in the air, try to maintain possession here, keep the ball away from Alabama, or whether he's willing to just run the ball and punt it away and make them go the long, hard way. They've got 10 points to deal with.
And you've got 6:05 to play in the game. Harris is out. Tucker is back. Secondary for Alabama. Kane popped the fullback over the left side. Lynn Kane runs for about 7 yards. Gary De Niro, sophomore from Youngstown, Ohio, makes the stop for Alabama. And now with the wind at his back, Marty King gets the call to punt.
Well, it might help him here to get a better punt off from a standpoint of average. He needs a good punt here to make Alabama go the long way.
If Nathan should break one here and go all the way, I'm afraid this old place might fall down.
They got the return set up, it looks like. Well, it's got it low. It's a returnable kind.
Alabama has the football at the 43-yard line. A 42-yard punt and a 15-yard return. If he'd had one more buddy to help him, he might have gone.
That came within an eyelash. You almost called it there, Keith. Boy, just another block or so. There he puts a move on, and he avoids 2 tacklers, comes back to the outside, and just by a shirt tail, I guess, you might say, the Trojans save a long run back.
Eric Scoggins made the play for USC. First down, Alabama, just beyond the 43. 5 minutes to play. Nathan has it. Back to Rutledge. Wants to throw it. Throws short. Pass is caught by Major Ogilvy. He's thrown out of bounds short of a first down. Boy, that ball is flying around for a little bit of distance, wasn't it?
Well, the principal receiver was a split man. He was not open. He was covered well by Lavender. And he took his secondary receiver and got the 7 yards rather than the negative yardage.
That's a play that Jim Owens used back in his Rose Bowl team days at Washington when he had Slorette.
That's exactly right.
Second down and 7. Second down and 3, rather. Rutledge, a lot of time. Then that quickly it is gone. But the SC defensive secondary locked up all of the people. Rather than risk it, Jeff ate it. Ray Peters flagged the nose guard with Myron Lapka, pinched in and got it.
Big third down coming up here. Alabama needs a first down. Maintain possession of the ball.
Rutledge in the 4th quarter has come back in his performance. He's 4 out of 6 for 68 and a touchdown. 4:15 to play. 3rd and 6. Pass is off. Pass is caught. It is complete to Keith Pugh from Evergreen, Alabama, and it's a first down at the Southern Cal 32, 20 yards on the play.
Big play, big play. Guarantee it. Keith Pugh out here, flank. Rutledge comes back out of the backfield. Now he throws an out pattern. It was just thrown perfectly away from the defender, and of course he makes a great catch on it.
Carter Hartwig did just about all he could do, defend on the play.
Couldn't have been in a better position.
Rutledge now 105 yards on 7 completions. From the 32 of USC, Rutledge better hurry. Gets away from the pressure, throws the pass is incomplete, intended for Bart Kraut. And it was Larry McGrew, number 57, that came pouring in.
It appears that Rutledge is getting plenty of time to throw the ball. And when you get plenty of time, he may find somebody again. Get back on this board. There's only, well, there's still 4 minutes, and that is ample time. The last drive they had, they scored in 1 minute and 24 seconds.
Charlie Moses has come in at the linebacking position now, replacing McGrew. He's a senior out of Ontario. Exactly 4 minutes to play in the game. This time Alabama works out of the eye. Protection is good for Rutledge. He has to look a long time, but finally finds Pugh on another clutch catch. First down at the Trojan 18-yard line.
Rutledge is having a hot hand, but they're giving him good protection. You can see he's got plenty of blocking. Throws the ball, and it just deflected off of Dennis Johnson's hands. And he was mad at himself. He was down there beating the turf because he failed to grab the ball or deflected enough so that it wouldn't be completed.
Rutledge to Nathan.
He gets corner.
He takes it inside the 15. The ball comes loose, and Southern California comes up with it. Nathan was really busted. Johnson and Lepka were there, and Tony turned it loose, and the Trojans come up with it. That's the 4th turnover.
And I mean, they had leverage at the corner. Rutledge fakes the ball, deals it off to Nathan, and he's got a lot of running room. Looked like he might want him to throw the ball there for a minute, and then he elected to take off with it.
He never put it away.
He had the ball loose. Had the ball loose, he never put it away. Those things are going to happen every time.
A minute 17 to play as McDonald takes the snap, steps back and sits down on it. And I think the vote goes to Scoggins, that outside linebacker who played so very, very well.
It's a good choice. I think he played a fine football game. As a matter of fact, you've got to give credit to the entire Trojan defense. I think they're much faster than they were a year ago, and they demonstrated it today. 1:12
remaining in the ball game, and Alabama with 1 timeout remaining as USC leads by a score of 24-14. One more snap, and now Alabama will have to spend its last timeout.
Well, it's been quite a football game. And the one thing that the Trojans could not do a year ago was move the ball consistently on the ground. They were able to do this afternoon against the Crimson Tide.
Well, the clock is running. Alabama has not spent its time out. USC, I'm sure, is willing to take a 5-yard penalty for delay of the game here, just to run off as many seconds as possible, and that's the regional telecast schedule coming up next week. So pick the game in your area and check your local listings for the time and the game. And now the time is called with 34 seconds. 34 to play in the game. So Alabama, undefeated, having defeated Nebraska and Missouri on top of the polls, will tumble. Oklahoma would seem the apparent successor to the throne room of the national polls in this coming week after their big romp. But this ball club from Los Angeles, the Southern California Trojans, have to be moved up somewhere in that pecking order too. Well, what a long, hard day it's been for the Tide.
It's also a long season. A lot of things can happen. Oh, touchdown.
Junior picks it up.
Oh,
no, he missed it. The Trojans come back and cover it. It was blocked. They set 10, and somebody got it. It might have been Junior that got it.
Let's see, he takes the stepping with his right foot. Oh, this is a great block.
McNeil, isn't it? Yeah, Don McNeil comes in, the cornerback.
But the ball seemed to be kicked low where he had an opportunity to get his hands on it. Great block.
25 seconds to play. Alabama down at the Trojan 17. Rutledge goes over the middle for Bolton, and it's off his fingertips just that much too high. Just a fraction too high, or it would have been a touchdown because he was open.
Well, you can see anything can happen. Here it is, 20 seconds. Still capable of scoring and onside kicking and throwing a bomb. You never know until that last second is off the clock.
Rutledge looks at Bolton, looks for Pugh, throws it short, and throws it right into the hands of Ronnie Lott or Dennis Smith. It's Dennis Smith, 49. So the interception. And there goes Alabama's last chance. That's a 4th interception. The Trojans had 5 last week, 4 this week. That's 9 in 2 weeks. My goodness, that defensive bunch got something to talk about, don't they?
Sometimes you don't get 9 in an entire season.
That's right.
You get 9 in 2 games.
12 seconds remaining to play in the ball game. 12. And Southern California has won the ball game. It'll take off now, and a great many of this record crowd of more than 77,313 as the Trojans exult in victory. Johnny Robinson gets a ride. Bear Bryant starts the slow, laborious walk across the field to shake his hand. Well, Bear'd be the first man in town to tell you that his football team took a whipping today. Once again, our final score, Southern California 24, Alabama 14. We'll have a new #1 next week.